Welcome. I'm so glad that you can join me here today. 305, pages 733 and 34 on what is authenticity. This is an audiovisual version of my book that I'm going each and every episode for every lesson to perform some editing. The only beautiful way to do it, because time is only but a marker, and sometimes we see things in the now present moment that, oh my gosh, wasn't that from before, or wasn't that just happened now, but it's dated like so many months or years ago? Well, that's an illusion, and we learn to see these revelations pockets at a time. And this is a course in metaphysical spirituality. My book, TheSovereignLight, is named after my ministry. And my name is Reverend Maria Arvanitidis. And like always, we go into the reading opening of the statement to enhance upon it with the intro paragraph, in continuation with the topic on what is authenticity, and see what might ignite from within us. So open up. Open up by focusing on your breathing. Where are you at with your breathing? Let me rephrase that. Where are you at this present moment? Leave all whatever worries from the past, whatever's going through your thoughts, and just with every breath in, blow them out and just clear everything. We can do this. We can do this by connecting to the earth's energy and to the ethereal, the sun, the galactic, and breathe that in through the crown, the photonic nutrients, this information, and then clear whatever else is needed again out from the soles of your feet to the earth and back again, and then just find a place after. As we do this, we can go down and then we can go up and release, but somewhere we have to find our center and ground and breathe out into the resonating field through our heart space center. This is where we connect in this present moment by being here, now. And where are you at? Where are you at with your breathing? Are you able to breathe deep? And again, circular breathing. Don't stop for any moment and to swallow or anything. Just do the circular breathing. This practice of circular breathing is mentioned in the book. And let's do it again. Just have it flowing without any real jagged, abrupt stops or gaps. So let's go. Simultaneously from the ground, up the tailbone, soles of your feet, from up above the ethers to your crown. Just breathe it all in a circular motion. Breathe it out. All right. Now we're connecting many practices, and combining them together is the momentum that is supposed to take place, gradually leveling up. And again, leverage your breathing. How do you feel? Do you feel at peace with the light coming in? Today is October 25th, Tuesday, 2000. I was going to say 25. It's 2022, but who knows? Maybe when you see this and start practicing it, it could be then. Again, time is only but a marker. Why I'm saying this in the galactic perspective, where are we at in alignment to the rest of the galaxy and our starships, and meaning the sun and all our planets, and where we are with them. Some of us might be going into the Saturn return again. So, leverage it out. And these things that I'm saying, astrological, whatever they might be, again, they're markers. They're not meant to become rigid in their way of indoctrinating us and disconnecting us from how we feel because we're supposed to be following a certain way in a certain order. We are eventually, when we come to alignment, some might even say luck. Oh, you're lucky. It's not that. It's all our chakras in alignment, all our strands opening. So each one represents a strand as well of our DNA. And as inside, so outside. Know that if we want to reach anything outside of ourselves, it's always coming the realness from the inside. And as above, as I was mentioning, so below when we breathe, and then out into the resonating field. Let's go. Ready. Page 733 out of 850 as we go along, and you're helping me to edit. It's taking many years. Eventually we'll get there. I'll have the audio-visual version of it and see where we go with it. And perhaps even you can purchase the packages, the actual book. And as far as I know it, I'm never putting it on ebook as an ebook. So if you want, you can do this independently. I'm also found on Patreon. Again, it's a work in progress. I have to update everything. And what I'm aiming for is Gaia television, something like that. So it could be easily accessible at a very reasonable cost. And so if I can even get it all on one USB stick, everything, and just mail it off to you. Otherwise, it would have to go through a package deal from my YouTube unlisted videos in a package that you would find. Right now, it would be a blog spot, TheSovereignLight. It's not really anything like a website yet, because I have many websites on the go, and I'm hoping to eventually align everything and bring it all together and dissolve all the membranes from, what I'm bringing together, all the fragmented pieces of me to share with you and hoping that you're resonating and we can work through this adventure together on our journey, on our path, no matter what level we might be and where we might be at. that we might somehow connect somewhere to help each other. I will start to read now. What is authenticity? We've come to question and see where we find more answers and input. And if you'd like some homework to work with me in groups even, to bring this topic forward again and see what you get, please comment. And not in a way of I'm opening the space for you to advertise your pornographic whatever it is, right? Because I have been going onto your YouTube channel and restricting it, saying it's not meant for children, just so that you can comment down below. Because as soon as I say it's meant for children, the comments are restricted. So I'm even giving this information to you in hopes that we can connect much better in clarity. So there are some things that remain similar to consistency as it appears the self in physical form can make but subtle changes. Those things that cannot be changed, what are they? Perhaps we tend to be too hard on ourselves. We over the top judgmental and critical of our imperfections because of, perhaps I know in my situation, people don't even give me the time of day. They just automatically see my imperfections and block me and push me away and reject me. So I've experienced that, especially when it comes to engaging with matters of the heart and the emotional impact it has on me when, you know, as a single woman, perhaps I leave myself open to relate and form relationships with others on much more intimate levels. And how's that working out for you? I know it's been quite an adventure for me. And it's like, I know, you know, it's like, don't allow the rejection in. However, we can't put ourselves in a concrete vault either. See? We have to experience life to the fullest and see it for what it really is and feel it. And so, what are these things that remain similar to consistency as they appear to the self in physical form that can make subtle changes? Those things that cannot be changed, what are they? What do you feel they are? Are they within you, reflecting out in others? I'd like to hear some of your comments. Or, you know, when you buy this package, we can work on these things together. We can do distance healing. What is distance and time? It's an illusion again. And how far we can open up to the resonance of our heart and connect with others. This magnetism. So the connection, how far, how deep, at what levels and variations can we find connection? And where's it that we feel disconnected? That's something to really work on, a great topic to take. And as all things can change in how they are viewed, sometimes it can take longer to adjust with. And from it all, the authenticity of the self becomes apparent. You know, some of us get famous on our fuck-ups, even, if we own them. And we're not so hard on ourselves. I kind of thought, you know, some great people who have passed on, who have become really famous, and even making movies and doing all these creative talents, uh, starting from scratch. Nobody knew them, they just did it. And they, I forget the guy's name now. He was I don't know, he was an African American songwriter, music developer. He even created a movie, and he kind of created his own character and became a star, and really played it really well on everything that he was fucking up on. Excuse my language. Okay. Bleeping. And so messing up on her. What are these imperfections that we feel we must correct? Could they be, as I'm like inspired to have done this audiovisual version, to edit through my book meticulously all the corrections, be them spelling mistakes, being grammar, being that doesn't make any sense. But I still try to maintain the consistency of it, of what it was, not to change the meaning or what I was getting at in that kind, just the structure of grammar and spelling mostly, and punctuations and things like that I had to go back and do. And I'm still working through it as I do these episodes. And so, whenever you're ready, let's begin today's affirmation, activation. My authenticities come from a place of origin that patterns in the making of this patent called self. My authenticities come from a place of origin that patterns in the making of this patent called self. My authenticities come from a place of origin that patterns in the making of this patent called self. So, have we allowed to become patented? Are we still sovereign? Have we given consent to give away our human rights? What have we consented to? Are we still human? Are we doing the spiritual work? Or are we allowing the outside world, like a pill or an injection, to speed up the process in the same way that it would enslave us, at the same time as it would be helping us to improve and level up to all the inner work that we were supposed to be doing, that others, like saviors, would come and intervene from the experience of this process called atonement. So, have we allowed for things to enter us on a cellular level where we can through various 5G LED lights, be seeing the patent. I think they're dot. I forget what they're called now, but when we agree to certain, like Moderna, Moderna, Pfizer, they have certain patents to our gene codes that once they synthetically blend in with the biology of us, we are no longer sovereign. We become patented. We become a patent. We become like a tagging, labeling through this dot system. However, we are built in such a way where we can constantly clear and cleanse and just all of this shedding away that we're doing. Unless we continue to boost ourselves with external injections and synthetic ways of maneuvering up the scale of spirituality, bypassing the heart, and adapting to those ways of cyborgism, we are giving up our rights. Like, you know, at what level do we go to in this way? I mean, even as citizens. The moment we get a birth certificate and the signing of those papers that our family just want their baby in their arms, so they sign away the baby like a warrant of the state. And then there's your social insurance numbers. Well, you know, that will get on to the following episodes. It's also included in the book. And so it's up to you to how you are able to see it and from what perspective. And so let's continue on. The authentic self comes from a place of innocence. And this is perhaps considered vulnerable. It has taken much practice to bury and hide this part of the self. When it does find its way out into expression, it can go unnoticed and be well misunderstood. When it is unfamiliar to the many who cannot find any reason to benefit from in any way, authenticity becomes dismissible. When out of the problem a solution was made, was the authenticity that was there to create the problem so the self can utilize itself in this way. Innovation comes from a place of authenticity and can be one aspect of viewing to exemplify. Not all authentic ideas are the making of, and sometimes can be combined with other ideas to help formulate for something that required and recapitulate to bring about a need for its expression. Page 734 out of 850. My authenticities come from a place of origin, the patterns in the making of this patent called self. The authentic self is, just is. And sometimes it must shine on as the warrior of light to play the game of power, from control, amongst its many disconnected shadows. Now it must all be undone, all those programs to fall off, and yet without them, the self, it can feel so very lost to why it deserves to have it better than it was once told that it could not. Having to prove for anything is where the struggle to itself had started. The uncomfortable feeling of accepting what it truly always preferred to have is felt in the undeserving from the many disappointments it has experienced, and shrugs away and must relearn to overcome such conflicts. The part of the self that had to go unconscious and learn to be a sub-existing entity. As a child, everything was larger than life. And from that perspective was where it learned to fear and separate. It had covered itself over to protect from harm its genuine nature and shut away its feelings. The purpose is to uncover the many layers and peel them back to find the realness that is authentic self, waiting to be experienced. And with that said, I will leave you with today's affirmation. Won't you say these words out loud with me? My authenticities come from a place of origin that patterns in the making of this patent called self.